That's all that matters. You show up.
Yes. See me okay?
Yeah, I can see you.
Go upstairs and see my wounds.
Okay. Before we started, I heard you told me you was sick.
I don't know if you can hear it in my voice, but I've had a cold all week. So my voice is very raspy. So I apologize if you don't understand. I can't them calm. I'm feeling a little bit better today. Just
Okay. I wanna make sure because your health is your priority. I would have canceled because you're important.
we're good. I am good to go, and I'm so excited to be here with you.
Okay. Thank you for taking the time to show up. I want to know if you can explain what was like.
Yeah, so I was born deaf. So my dad's side of the family, it was genetic. So my dad's great uncle was deaf. So it kind of like skips generation. My dad, he's hard of hearing. So I was born deaf. My parents did not find out that I was deaf until about 10 months old. So nowadays, you hear people like parents finding out that their child is deaf when they're born, right? I don't know when you found out. If you were later, were you?
I was 1 year old, so I'm the only deaf child in my family. So lucky you have a deaf person in the family. So you have someone who can relate, understand your struggles, the things that's hard, difficult. Other parents don't really understand what it's like. So you're lucky.
Yes, no, and I know everyone's story is so different, but also so similar. You know what I mean? But yeah, I was a year old when I got hearing aids. So doctors told my parents, either you teach me Karlie how to talk or sign, not both. So yeah, and that was the thing back then. But nowadays we really encourage sign language while they're speaking now. But like my time and farther back, doctors were like either one, not both. So my parents were like, well, let's just try the talking route. I did a lot of speech therapy and I did really well. And also know that it's not for everyone. You know what I mean? Like some kids, speech therapy, don't need. But anyway, so I did speech therapy all the way up. And then I got my cochlear implant when I was 9 and my second one when I was 18. So it's different. So I had a hearing aid and then a cochlear implant. And then I was like, my hearing was gotten worse. So I got rid of my hearing aid and got a cochlear implant. So now I'm bilaterally implanted. So yeah, I've had a really good support. I was mainstreamed. I don't know if you were mainstreamed. So that's like a public school with a deaf and hard of hearing program. So I had like deaf ed teachers, and I learned sign language in first grade. So I've always, talked and signed at the same time. It's just how I was raised, and everyone is so different too, and it's all like okay. And I want like parents to know, sign language is a great thing for kids to learn and kind of get going with the language, and every kid is so different, and signing and talking worked for me, and everyone has their own stories and experiences.
Yeah, that is so true. And I feel, in my perspective, parents think that if my child is signing, he will get him talk. People will perceive them, the society will perceive them like not worthy, not valuable. Like it's like a sterile type.
Yes, there you.
So they don't want society looking down on them. So they just want their child to go to mainstream and just be talking this all no sign language. So what do you think about things?
About what? So, sorry. Specifically,
About there's not one that's I mean just
that's hard. And I want to respect every parent's decision. You know, everyone's journey is so different. Really, I think the main thing is meet your child. What do they need? Do they need sign language? Do they need visuals to learn? Do they prefer to talk only? Okay, well, maybe you use language to support the spoken language. Does that make sense? You know, like, this is my opinion. Like, I feel that what does the deaf and hard of hearing child want? You know, let them navigate and for the parents to support that. If, you know, because there's some deaf and hard of hearing kids who prefer to sign all the way. Amazing. There's some deaf and hard of hearing kids who prefer to talk. Okay, that's fine. Let them navigate. You know, there will be struggles. You know, I struggled and I realized myself, okay, sign language really supports the spoken language. This is a hearing world. It's hard to hear or understand everything as a deaf person. You know what I mean? I just feel like meeting what your deaf or hard of hearing kid wants and needs to succeed, have the parents to support that. There's so many different ways, communication ways. Not one is the only way. There's so many, you know, and there's so many resources out there. There's just so many options, and one way is not the only way.
Yeah, so how did your parents support you? Did you have a really good support system? Or
I did. My parents were amazing, and they were a part of my journey. This was a learning experience for my parents, and every parent, really. I mean, there's so many parents who've never met a deaf or a hard of hearing person, and then they have their own kid that has, that's deaf. And it's like, okay, this is going to be a journey, you know? And for my parents, they supported me along the way. So yes, I went the oral route because that's what doctors told my parents, you know? And so they just supported the talking and it worked for me. And so I asked my parents, like, if the talking route didn't work for me, would have y'all like learned sign language? And they were like, yes, we would have supported it. That's what I wanted. You know, since I was so, like, I was successful and understand every deaf and hard of hearing kid, spoken language didn't work, and it's okay. They're still so successful, you know? So for my parents, they supported the spot when I was speaking out, and then my dad learned sign language from work. There's a lot of deaf and hard of hearing people at the post office. Both of my parents worked at the post office. There's lots of deaf and hard of hearing people there. So my dad learned a lot of sign language in me as I got older. And then I went to school that had sign language. So I had both. I started in an oral route program, and then there was a deaf boy that came into my class in first grade, and he was an interpreter. And I was like, I understand so much more with an interpreter. So I learned, and I told my parents, this is the boy in my classroom. they have an interpreter. I'm learning sign language and I understand more what my teachers are saying, what my friends are saying. And my parents are like, well, let's do it. Let's add interpreter to your accommodation. So we had an art meeting, and ever since I've had an interpreter in all of my classes all the way up to college. So my parents have been along with me, which has been amazing. So
Wow. So what advice would you tell parents who's finding out their child have a hearing loss? Because some parents, they feel like it's bad luck. My child is deaf. They feel depressed, and they start to begin to neglect their child. What piece of advice would you tell them?
I would tell them, hey, it's okay. It's okay to grieve. Yes, it's like something, it's like, what? And those feelings are valid. Like, it's okay. But also know it's okay. It's okay, you know? And so many resources out there. Find the community. Find the community. Find parents with different hard of hearing kids are the same age. What is that journey? There is so many organizations. We're here, I don't know where you're stated, but I'm here in the state of Texas. We have something called Texas Kids and Voices. They support the signing, they support spoken, they support both of their needs. And they have so many resources. And every month they meet with families with deaf and hard of hearing kids. They meet. I used to be on the board, but since I had kids, I had to leave. But I loved it, and I wish my parents had that at my time. So, but finding a community of parents who are on the same journey, discovering how did it work for your kid that's deaf and hard? How did it work for you? How to advocate for them in schools, in public, you know? And I feel like that main thing is finding community resources. There's so many out there, and I know it's overwhelming, but, you know, and there's not only one answer. What the doctor says is not the only way. What the audiologist says, not the only way. You know, there's so many out there, and use them. They're there for you to need that.
That is so cool, and that's why I'm doing my best to bring on people with deaf disability. You know, so many it's possible. They are successful. There's like deaf authors. There's deaf teachers. There's so many different successful people. I'm trying to show them, like, either if you're Black, white, Spanish, so many different. I want to show them possibility. Why can't your child be successful? Or if you're deaf at home, why can't you? You can. You know, there's different examples, and I'm trying to bring more people on my show and show them that's possible. So
you're doing amazing things, and I love that you're bringing community together to show you can be an author, you can be a teacher, you can be a firefighter, engineer, anything, you know. And I know I know a deaf nurse. You can be a nurse. You can be an engineer. Like, you gotta study for it. It can be hard. You can do it. You know, just find your, like, if you need an interpreter, ask one. You need a note taker, for one. You know, and you can do it. And you were so right. Just send them. You can. You know, it looks different. It'd be harder, but it's always so worth it.
That's right. You said something really important. I think you can. Like, when you was in mainstream, what was that like? How did you advocate for yourself?
Good question. So growing up, I will say I hated being deaf. I hated it. I struggled. I was just very lonely. I didn't have friends. I was just in my deaf friends, which was like very few. But I was not social. I was not confident. But college is when and I know this a long time for me to love myself and be confident, you know. But as far as advocating for myself, like my accommodations in school, I had an interpreter. I always had an interpreter. I had always asked for notes or like PowerPoints before class. So teachers would always email me or print like all of the notes. So I didn't have to look at the interpreter. I have to look at the interpreter. How am I supposed to write? You know, like, or I have to be able to read my writing. So those were my two big, and I had like extended time on my testing. But other than that, if I was confident in myself, I would have been, hey, I didn't understand. What did you say? I didn't do that. And I wish I did. I just kind of hit it. If I didn't understand, I didn't understand. If I didn't like something, I just accepted it. Just because I was so just was not confident in myself, and I just hated because I wanted to be hearing. Because hearing world, like, I don't know. But all good now, and I love being deaf, and my journey is still a journey. So,
yeah. I want to say thank you so much for that and being vulnerable, sharing that. So what shifted your mindset from not feeling confident with yourself, feeling low self-esteem, to now confident with yourself? Now you're a deaf author. You're selling books. Wow, over the world. That's inspiring.
Thank you. What really changed my mindset was college. I was like, I don't want to be shy. I don't want to be sad, depressed. I don't want that. College, new people, new environment. I don't have my parents. It's like, I really have to navigate myself. Like, I'm going to be me, and I'm going to meet friends, because I wasn't the one like, hey, want to be friends? You want to go out? Like, I never did that growing up. Whereas in college, I was like, this is it. So I found my, one friend, my roommate, met through her friends, and then her friends, my group. I was like, and then my college friends were like learning sign language for me. They were like getting on YouTube to learn sign language. I just felt very like they're accepting me. So I feel myself being deaf is just who I am. They're accepting. They seem to like to hang out with me. They're asking to go and get coffee, So I was like, okay, I'm getting there. Okay, now I'm like, I'm good. So it's so weird how getting out of school, seeing people. I was just scared of being judged, and what people thought about me wasn't like, oh, nobody knows each other. If I mess up or if I look silly, college is huge. I went to a public college here in Texas, so there was so many people. So I was like, no one knows me. Just my friend group. So, yeah. Sorry, that was long.
Yeah, no problem. I think we as humans, we tend to overthink, and that just take control of our life instead of just doing. Go ahead. You never know what's going to happen. If you meet somebody, they can give you an opportunity. Stop letting fear stop and hold us back. Just go ahead and do it, because you never know.
Never know.
Because you see, now you are an author, imagine if you let your fear stop you. You wouldn't write off. You would be selling books over the world. Just imagine. But you said no. You can. Look at you now.
You're so right. And I hope you do the same thing, and everyone who is watching. Don't let fear, like you said, fear get in the way, because you never know the opportunities. So you are so right.
Yeah. So, you know, what part, I mean, the part you said, actually, it's very interesting that you shifted your mindset and you told your old story. I need to change. I need a new identity. And sometimes we have the power to change the story what we want to become. It all starts with you and it ends with you. So start with the mind. You gotta know what is the new story. Are you gonna speak the same old story, or you want the new story? That's up to you to decide. So, and you know the saying, quote, you are your own author. You get to dictate what your story is gonna be like. So,
right. That was so beautifully said. Yes. Yeah. Love it.
So this leads me to the next question. So what inspired you to become an author and to write children's books?
Good question. Many things. Just list a few. I used to teach deaf ed. I taught 4 years as a deaf education teacher. As a teacher, I was trying to find books written by a deaf author. There's a lot of deaf characters in children's books, a lot of them, yes. They're amazing. Nothing wrong with that. Nothing. But where are the deaf authors? Children's book authors. It's like, okay, I wasn't thinking about writing a book. After my first year of teaching deaf ed, I was ready to adopt a deaf dog. I wanted a deaf dog. So at the end of the year, my coworker overheard that I was starting to look, and she just like, all these deaf dogs. I was like, oh. And she sent me Red. Do you want to see Red?
Yeah, sure. The audience would love to see Red.
Love.
Oh, he's tired.
My adopted Red. After the first year, we're like, look, after story tonight. Like, it'd be a good story to tell. Like, yeah, how am I gonna write a book? Like, I have no idea. And one of my Instagram friends wrote a children's book. And I was like, huh, good idea. Has been in the way. Maybe it's meant for me to reach out and ask her. It's like, how did you write this children's book? I wanted to support her. So I bought a book, and this is what you do. And I was like, okay, let's do it. So I started typing and just followed how to do it. It's paying money to do workshops. And when you Google, there's so many different ways to do it. I'm like, I don't know where to start. I don't know what's true. It's just overwhelming. So she just helped me. And I'm that person. I think it would 11 months from typing my story to doing my book. Took me 11 months. I was on it. I was like, make this happen. And so really the reason I part of me that like kids would love to see representations in children's books of a deaf author, deaf illustrator, and deaf characters. I wanted all of that. And just share our story and for hearing kids to learn as well in a fun and educational way. So, and just from then, I was just like, all over. It's insane. They pre-ordered. Wow, I was not prepared. Well, maybe our books would be good for, my people, my family, but amazing. It's amazing.
Wow. Wow. There's so many I want to say, but I want to start the giveaway for the book for the people waiting. So I'm gonna start with I definitely can.
Okay.
So I'm gonna let me switch my camera. And let's hit the drums. Let's see. Alright. Let me click. Let's see. Wow. We gotta screenshot this.
Congratulations. Yay.
Congratulations. If that's your username, please DM me your address and I will send you your book, your free copy of the book. So I'm going to announce the next second giveaway book. So we're gonna start with the last giveaway. We definitely can. So just give me a second. Because I just got. Okay. Let's start this. Let's see who's the next winner is. Wow, congratulations.
Okay, she's a deaf education teacher, so this is perfect. Love it.
Oh, she's a deaf.
Margaret,
Oh,
deaf ed teacher in Dallas, Texas. Amazing. Love that.
that is so good. I hope she could. I don't know what grade she teach. But elementary. Oh wow. So this is good reputation to show. Okay. So if you see your name, congratulations. Please DM me your address and I will send you a free copy of the book. Congratulations. Who's the winners? All right. So I want to. Oh yes. I want to get to. Tell me the story. How did you find the deaf? How did you know you wanted a deaf dog? And how did you meet your Rhett?
Rhett. How did I meet Rhett?
Yeah. That and why did you want a deaf dog instead of a hearing dog?
You're frozen.
Can you see me?
Now you're back. For me.
Okay, so I'm gonna say that question again. So, how did you meet Rhett, and why did you decide to pick a deaf dog, not a hearing dog?
Good question. So, in first grade, my deaf ed teacher, she had a deaf therapy dog. So, us deaf kids, we learn. This is like me. Dogs can't. so growing up, I've always wanted a deaf dog because of my deaf ed teacher. She brought her therapy dog, who is deaf, to school every day. So I just loved her therapy dog. So I was like, okay, well, my first job, I will get a deaf dog when I have money, because I know it's expensive to have a dog. So after my first year, not cheap. After my first year of teaching, I was like, okay, time to have a dog. And I knew I wanted a deaf dog. And I reached out to different people who had like deaf dogs that they needed to rehome or they didn't want. But no one was responding to me. And I was like, okay, it's not meant to be for me to have those different dogs. And then my coworker, she texted me a picture of Rhett at the shelter, really small town here. And it was about an hour and a half away. We were in the middle of church, and I was like, oh my gosh, Mom, Dad, like, church, can we go and drive and meet Rhett? I really want to meet Rhett. I'm like, okay, yeah, let's drive after church and go meet Rhett. And I met him, and we were waiting outside. Me and my mom and my dad, us three, we couldn't go inside. So they brought the dog out of the shelter. Rhett, literally, like what's in the book, Rhett instantly jumped up and just hugged. And I was like, because, cattle dog, that's his breed. They're very loyal. They love on a shoe. So they're very so he just connected and trusted me. And, there's some shelter dogs that, scared, like, who do I trust? This person gonna love me? This person gonna love me? You know what I mean? So a lot of shelter dogs are like loving on me. And I was like, and then the volunteer was like, y'all are like match made in heaven. Now that always stuck with me. And I'm like, right? And my parents were kind of like, let's talk about it first, because he was a big dog. We've always had small dogs. And my mom was always like, big dog, big poop. Let's talk about it. Okay, I have to convince my mom. So I didn't get to bring Rhett home the first day that I met him because I was living with my parents. So it's like their rules, their roof, I have to respect. If my parents know, I have to take it. So we had to talk about it, and then we came to an agreement. Lots of come on, please. It worked. So I drove back to the shelter and I adopted him. So a long story, but yeah.
Wow. I'm very curious. Do any people question you, why did you get a deaf dog? Why not a hearing dog? You're deaf. It don't make sense. How can you communicate? How would a deaf dog protect you in danger? You know what I mean? Usually if a blind person will get a hearing dog to protect them, the surrounding.
Yes. So many people are like, you're deaf. Why would you get a deaf dog? I was like, well, I can relate. Honestly, yes, he's deaf, but he is literally on me. So it's like, he's on me. He's never off. Never. Literally. So if someone is going to come and hurt me or break in, he's right there. He will protect me. Does that make sense? Like, yeah, he can't hear, but he can see, he can feel. So if I'm in danger, he's protecting me. So it's like, it's a different way of protecting me or guiding me. But yeah, like you said, like a blind person wouldn't get a blind dog, but it's a relationship. They both navigate the same way. Just like us deaf, we feel, we smell. You know what I mean? We're more same as a deaf dog. So a lot of deaf people are like, deaf dog, no. Same as you. You have deaf kids. You're deaf kids. You know what I mean? Deaf parents know what to do with deaf kids. Hey. So it's just like that. I guess it's just how you perceive it. Does that make sense? Yeah.
Yeah. I hope it clarifies for people that understand why you buy a deaf dog. So I hope it helps clarify. So what is the message you want to the reader when they're reading your book?
What message do I want my readers to know?
When they read your book, so when they finish, what do you want them to do? Like, what was the goal?
That deafness does not stop us. Just because we can't hear or we struggle to hear, it's okay. It looks different. We can still be friends. You can still be nice. Include us. And I know in our first book, we included dogs with wheelchairs, dogs that are blind, dogs that are amputated. I always want kids to be. It's cool. Okay. Let's be friends. Let's be more. And just include them just like I would with another friend who may not be in a wheelchair. It's okay. I just want readers to learn that deafness is not a weakness. Deafness is just something that we just have. It's okay. We navigate this world just like everyone else. Just it's different. It's okay.
Yes, that's so true. And what is so special about us is we're very unique, very different, and that's a good thing. It's not a bad thing.
No.
So yeah. So what is next? What is next for you?
I'm hoping. I know people are like, third book. I have 2 kids, taking care of the house, taking care of the 2 dogs. I have a 6-month-old baby and a 2-year-old. So my plate is full. But I'm trying to get the 3rd book written and published, hopefully, because I don't know if you noticed, but I definitely can. The second one is called We Definitely Can. I want this one to be You Definitely Can. So I want to keep that series going and be done. There's so much work and it's a lot of money to do this. So 3rd one, and hopefully in the works soon. So we'll see.
Okay, I can't wait. So before we wrap this up, I have a last question to ask you. What does deaf go-getter means to you?
Go get it. No matter what, I honestly love the username that you had. When I read that, I was like, it's so empowering. It's like, you're deaf and you're gonna go get it. You're gonna go get her. Is it go get her?
Yeah.
It's like a dream chasing and you're gonna get it. It's not a dream chasing and chasing and chasing. It's a dream chase and get it. That's what by the way, I love that. And that's a really encouraging title or username for so many deaf and hard of hearing, even hearing people to read. Like, oh, this deaf guy is going to chase it and get it. That's what I I view it as. And I don't know if that's your interpretation of that, why you wrote that. Is it?
Yes. Yes. When people see the word death or disability, they think of negative. And for a long time, I felt that when I see the word disability, I think negative. But I told myself that's not who I am. I can change that. I don't have to let it define me. No, but I can let it motivate me, push me, see what I can do. But it's a decision. You can let the word define you, or it can motivate you. And I decided to motivate me what I can do. So that's my perspective. So
I love it. Beautiful. That's awesome.
Thank you so much for coming to the show. I can't wait to see what's next for you in your journey. And for the audience, thank you so much for joining the show. It means a lot. So the reason why I'm doing this show is I just want people to see more that can, disability can, show more possibilities, not limitations. So I'm going to have more inspiring stories that you can feel inspired and motivated. So please follow, like, share. Please buy her book and support. You can also follow her. Is anything that people can know where to buy your books?
My link is on our bio. I tried to keep it super simple. So if you're interested, just check out our bio on our Instagram or Facebook page, and we're there. You can message us too. Thank you again so much for allowing me to hop on and just chat with you. It's been so fun, and I really appreciate you, and best of luck. And this has been amazing, and you're doing great things.
Thank you so much. I hope we connect. I hope you have a good night. Take care.
Bye. Bye, y'all.